Hi, I'm Carolyn Parrs, the CEO of Mind Over Markets, and we have for the last 17 years helped sustainable businesses get clear, get heard, and grow their business by creating clear messaging and marketing that works. Today, thank you, Green America. I'm going to be sharing with you sustainability for strategic growth. We are in, I believe, a growth period for sustainability. We're going to start seeing more and more and more businesses that will become or ingrain sustainability into their DNA. Why? Because it makes a good business case. Risk mitigation, resiliency, brand loyalty, trust. There are a lot of saving money. There are many reasons why businesses are going sustainable today. And I really want to show you what happened pre-pandemic and what's going to be happening down the road. And as small green businesses, we're in a really good space if we can sustain ourselves. And I'm going to be giving you some tips today on how to do that as well. So let me share my screen over here. And here we go. Sustainability for strategic growth. Why the time is now to tap into the $2.65 trillion sustainable products and services market. So that number came from Unilever, a report from Unilever. And they're known for buying small, green, and sustainable companies, and a lot of them. As a matter of fact, I talked to one of their sustainability directors and I asked why, and she said, two reasons. Number one, their growth is greater than conventional products, anywhere between 9 and 30% they've seen. And number two, well, she didn't say this part, but number two is that they have sustainability goals that they have to reach, right? And that can be part of their sustainability story. So that puts sustainable businesses and small ones, entrepreneurial ones, innovative ones in a really good place. But the second piece to that is there's also a $1 trillion in market opportunities for brands that can effectively communicate their product sustainability attributes well. That is key. I'm going to show you today some of the ways you can do that. And then at the end, let you know an offer that I have never given before that can help you nail your message and go into this next period strong. So here we go. 44% are looking at the label these days. 44% of consumers are reporting that they look at the claims right on the label before they even buy it. And so that's really key. That is one of the statistics that came out of the sustainable packaging industry. And who's driving most of this? 90% of this is the millennials. The millennials, there's 92 million of them now, and they have a disposable income of $1.4 trillion. They're in decision-making positions now more and more in corporate America. And health and wellness and sustainability and green is part of their thinking. It's like I said, it's in their DNA. And so this has a really big impact, and that's why you see a lot of the corporations responding to this with the products that they are selling and making. Here's a slide from a report from the Shelton Group that says when millennials trust a brand's environmental and social business practices, 90% of them buy from that brand. And then another 95% will share it with their friends. So and we know where most of that's happening is online. And where are we right now? Online. And so this is a really important piece to note. Now, right behind them, we have the Gen Z. They're in college right now, the Gen Z generation. And this is a chart that came out the end of last year, their priorities. And if you notice, the environment scooted up in front of other social and health causes. The environment is 26%. So it's the number one, right, in their minds. Now, this was pre-pandemic, and I know economic development is up there, or the economy. So this will have changed. We'll see some of the changes in that, but the environment and climate change is right there. And this is a very important piece for sustainable businesses. Here are just some of the ways that we've seen that Gen Z will likely get involved with your brand. And I want you to notice at the top one, share their positive opinion about a company that is doing good, 85%, and that's up. I'll move up from 77% in 2017. And then if we take a look down here, right, they take online action. This is another big jump, online action to trigger a donation. That went from 68% in 2017 to 76%. There we go. So, and then obviously protesting went up as well. I think that has a lot to do with Greta and the marches that we saw with the youth marches in 2019. So they are on board, and even more so than the millennials. So this is definitely not a trend in the way that it can come and go. This is going to be part of the fabric, I believe, of our economy. I wanted to introduce this next study, right? This comes out of the UN, and they hired Accenture to do this study where they looked at over 1,000 CEOs had participated in the study and taking a look at their global goals to date. Their global goals to date, which includes sustainability and the environment. And there's really some important pieces here because you're going to see where sustainability is now, where it used to be like a sidebar, a box maybe they had to check. Now it's becoming the bar for the products that they're creating. So sustainability to them is now firmly on the agenda. Are they doing enough? Not so much, which they've admitted, but it is 99% of them said they agree that sustainability issues are important for the future of their business. And it's doubly important for the future of yours. And who's driving that change? It's consumers and employees are the key drivers of this. There's a quote there, the younger generation is drawn to a higher purpose and mission. Why are we doing this? There's that why. And it's not just purely a profit motive, bottom line thing. So that's really key. And I know for sustainable businesses and for green businesses, that's what we've been doing this since we've been, launched or born, that we are drawn to a higher purpose and mission of what we're doing, or else we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. So this is really key that these two things are coming together. Leading companies are realizing the value of sustainability with more at stake in the next 5 to 10 years. And calling this decade the decade to deliver, well, it is time. It's time to just stop talking about it and doing it. And the 4 quadrants here, that we see, are the revenue growth is the reason. Their brand value and their increased brand value, cost reduction, risk mitigation. I said some of that a little ways away, and there's more to that list as well. And when we take a look at Wall Street, sustainability is again one of the top 3 indicators that they look at, and it's no longer an optional piece, right? It is on the table. And we're seeing that over and over again with investors that are asking for their sustainability reporting and asking where they stand for these large corporations. And when that happens, you're going to see the needle move. But here we are today. Here's a chart that shows us corporate priorities in a pandemic world. And I think this is true no matter if you have a large or small business. This kind of goes right through all the levels. Right now, here we are. We're in a crisis response. What's happening that's most urgent in the next 1 to 14 days. And I should say that's where we started with the pandemic in March. When it happened in our backyard and in our states, we took a look at, like, there was a huge pause that happened. And we said, what are we going to do? What do we need to do, like, right now? Get masks, and sanitizers and tests, and all this came through really close to our bottom lines and our hearts, right? Survival is the next stage beyond that, which is where we kind of are now. What do we do the next, 6 to 8 months? How are we going to remain financially solvent? How are we going to sustain ourselves during this time? And we're thinking about that. So the pause period, the halt period, is really pivoting into, okay, business is not as usual. Now what? And that is where we're taking a look at right now. And when I share some messaging techniques and tips, I'm going to be coming from that space. The recovery period, we're not in recovery, even though, we might be opening up more of our places, but we're not recovering economically. We're going to see bumps along the way till the end of the year for sure. But next year, the recovery period is, how do we pivot our operation and revenue channels based on what we learned now, what we're learning right now. Okay. Then there's the growth period, which was really where we were with pre-pandemic. And it's like, how do, we sustain this profitability and thrive? And that's not where we are right now, right? So your messaging on your website, if it's around that kind of thinking, which mine was, and I'm going to show you, it's not relevant anymore, and it's not going to have an impact. So it needs to be changed. And then the visionary stage, right? When everything feels really healthy, the long-term missions and visions, we've had that. We're not there, right? However, for brands, some brands that are beginning right now, this part is baked in, right? They're really baking in sustainability and that kind of mission focus. Okay, so it depends on what stage you are in your business. So let me give you a few strategies that'll help you through this time. Number 1, lead with what's important to your customers now, and let the planet play the supporting role. What is important to your customer or client now? Here we are in this stage. What is important to them? And then letting the planet, letting the environmental message be a supporting actor right there. And let me give you an example. Actually, this is not an example. This is the chart before the example, but this is important. 3 focuses that you should be looking at during and post-pandemic. Number 1, identifying where's your customer now? What are they feeling right now? What are they experiencing right now? What do they need right now? What's their pain point right now? So for my business, we're a marketing company, marketing communications, solely for sustainable businesses. Our new pain point, our businesses or clients are saying, the smaller clients is like, I need to sustain myself. I need to, sustain myself and grow. It would be fantastic, but sustaining and growth would be an important piece for them. There's opportunities in down markets to grow, right? We know that. You can create some of those opportunities for yourself by what you do now, okay? 2, highlight a product or service that would be helpful. That answers to their pain point. What do you do? What do you offer that is helpful to your customer or client now? So for me, which is actually what I'm going to show you later, it's doing an incredible offer, a messaging and helping them, because there's a revamping of messaging that has to happen for many businesses, because like I said, the messaging 2-3 months ago is not relevant anymore. So that And that is it could be a pain point because they lose sales, and if you lose sales, eventually keep on doing that, that can have a detrimental effect on your business. Okay. So 3 is creating a call to action. So this is the urgency part. You have to have a call to action that expires. So that gives people a sense of needing to act now, because how we can back burner things. It's really important to have that piece. So these 3 pieces coming together is kind of like a little secret formula. When I say secret, it's because people don't do it. they don't do it. They'll do one of it or 2 of it, but they not all 3 together. So 1, 2, 3. Really make sure you include those steps. Let me give you an example now. This was our messaging: move your market, change the world for mind-over markets pre-pandemic. Change the world, really big, right? It's aspirational, it's visionary. Remember that higher on the hierarchy? It was up there. Well, we're not up there anymore. We're down here in survival land. So it's not relevant. And to keep that up would not be great. Okay. So and the background is it's a video, actually. It's just a still shot. There's all these people, these crowds moving, up and down. Like, how many crowds are moving up and down right now? That's not happening either. Not relevant. And so what we changed it to is really our brand line, which is get clear, get heard, and grow your business. Yes, if you get clear on your messaging and you get heard by putting those messages in a concerted marketing funnel that works, you will grow your business. No doubt about it. And so that's what we help sustainability businesses do. And then if you scroll down on our website, it tells the story of that. So what is your website saying right now? What is your communication saying right now? Is it clear? Is it to the point? Is it yesterday's message, or is it today's? So those are just some questions you might want to be asking. Strategy number 2, grow your customer base online with relevant lead generators. This is really specific. You can grow your customer base and then ultimately sell to them right now online, because online is exploding. And don't wait too long on that, right? Because when you wait, there could be too much noise that happens, and you're probably experiencing some of that, but there are key things that you can do to do that. And I'm going to show you some examples. Here's one that we just created. It's on our homepage: 7 ways to grow your sustainable business in a post-pandemic world. And then you download this, filled with great specific examples, case studies, information that you can implement into your business now. And then it's in exchange for your email address. So that is, then you capture an email address, which is very hard to do these days, because you know me and we're not giving that out too easy, right? We've gotten enough of those newsletters. Creating a PDF that's really specific to what they need now, and then putting out there for free, is a good lead generator. Here's one that Earth Day Network, the largest Earth Day network on the planet, did at this past Earth Day was the 50th anniversary. Big deal. Did they know that they were going to have a pandemic? No, they didn't. Did they have to pivot in a matter of weeks? Yes, they had. And they did. And they did a fantastic job of it, and attracted millions through a live stream that they had to put together in a matter of weeks. And they grew their list like crazy. And so there are another virtual event that they did that had celebrities and thought leaders and some government speakers and all artists that came on and spoke to the 70th anniversary of Earth Day, and what's happening right now. Which I'm going to get to that shortly on my third strategy. So here's some examples of lead generators that you can do. This is a webinar for me right now. I'm doing a webinar. That's a lead generator. A class or communication series that you can do specific to your business, specific to your products. Even if you have a product, sometimes you think it's just services that can do that. No, products can do that as well, as long as it's, it connects in with your product being a solution, right, to what you're teaching. Okay, it has to be part of the solution. Virtual conferences and summits and video series that we saw. The live stream was what Earth Day did, but a lot of conferences that we're seeing that were going to be in person are now going online. And they'll attract a whole other level. I took a training in the middle of the pandemic that I never would have done before because I had to travel to the East Coast. And, the expense of that and getting the hotel and it would have been 3 times the amount of money for me to do that, a training that I wanted to do. And I did it. I did it online. And I saved money and I got the training. So you can do that too. A PDF, 7 ways to grow your sustainable business in a post-pandemic world, an example that I did and I showed you. A checklist of ideas to solve a problem or questions that they should be asking, like for coach, the 10 questions you should ask before hiring a business coach. Great PDF. If I was thinking of doing that, yeah, I'm going to see what those questions are. A worksheet, your weekly fitness worksheet. If you have that kind of business that can help them and they're constantly downloading your worksheet and using it, it's a good lead generator. A free sample of a product, but services too. Like, we give free homepage assessments. Really important spot at your homepage. You got 10 seconds to say your story so people get what you do. And it's hard to do because you have to distill it down. So we offer that. And keynote speeches are a great way. So these are just some lead generators. I hope I sparked some ideas for you that you might want to consider putting on your homepage. Strategy number 3, connect the dots for your customer with what's happening now and let the environmental, and connect the dots now and the environmental and social impacts that we're experiencing. In other words, what's happening now on the planet with the pandemic and the coronavirus with the environment and how it affects us socially and environmentally, climate change. Connect those dots. People aren't going to naturally do that. Do it for them. And ultimately, right, you'll become a thought leader and whatever product or service that you sell is going to grow along with your thought leadership. That's the whole idea behind that. So let me just show you some of the things that corporate America thinks are the most important and urgent right now. This is corporate America, right? Number 1, climate change. So it is on the map. 92% of experts called it very urgent. Biodiversity loss, 82%. Water scarcity, 80%. Water pollution and plastic, 76 and 77. I'm working with a company that takes plastic out of the ocean and creates and transforms that into new packaging. Great product, ocean waste plastic. They answer right to that, and the business is booming. All right, so what are you doing and that encompasses some or any of these? Connect those dots. And why are you going to want to do that? Because the more you connect the dots, especially for sustainable business, the more they trust you. This is a chart that's from the Nielsen Company that as the top sustainability purchasing drivers for consumers on a global. These were their global respondents. You see, number 1 here, this red bar is products from a brand I trust. So trust is really key. And that is why, remember back to resiliency and transparency and all these incredible traits that is inherent in sustainability is more important than ever, right? So we're coming through this pandemic. Make sure people get it, that climate change or environmental and social have a direct effect on what we experienced and how we go from here. Okay. The second here is product known for its health and wellness benefits. That's no surprise. And then the orange is products from a natural, fresh, organic ingredients. And then the last, not the last, but the fourth there, the blue is environmentally friendly. So trust beats environmentally friendly, right? So make sure you're constantly building. How can you build trust? Transparency build trust. Patagonia is a wonderful company. I love that. I use them as a poster child for this piece, is transparency. They built their company based on making people trust them. They have a segment on their website that's called the Footprint Chronicles. And this is where they tell the story of certain articles of clothing, what's good with them, what they're doing with them, what they're not, and they're wishing they could, and how they're trying to change that. And then how they plan on doing it better. So they kind of call themselves out. It's like, this is what we're doing good. This is what we're not doing so good. And this is how we're trying to improve it. So this is really important. You can do the same thing. And that is a way to build trust in your company. So these 3 takeaways, I'd love you to, hold and practice, hold tight in your heart and practice hard in your business. Is number 1 is lead with what's important, even urgent, and then let your customers, let the environment play the supporting role, planet. 2, grow your customer base online with relevant lead generators now, and then connect the dots for your customers with what's happening now on the planet and the environmental and social impacts, right, of what they're experiencing. 3 takeaways. The moral of this story is your sustainable business is more important than ever. Your sustainable business is more important than ever. So, which is why I am doing something that I have never done before. Let me move this so we can see this. I am giving 75% off in the month of June for VIP messaging days. What is a VIP messaging day? That means your messaging on your website, on your about page, on your elevator speech, how you frame your business will be specifically revamped for now and going in the future. Distilled down to its clarity so that your customer gets it. So we'll start with a brand script, which is like an elevator pitch. It is how you speak about it. So if someone says, hey, what do? You don't say, I have a sustainable brands company. Well, yeah, great. You and 100 other people. You'll have that way to pitch it. And you'll also use that in a variety of different ways, including your LinkedIn page. Your one-liner, fast, right? So it's like a bam, that goes on your header. So people get it real fast and they get it and they're not confused at all. And then going through your entire homepage and mapping that out, mapping your messaging out in each one of those sections so that you can take your customer on a journey and they understand you and why you and how to do business with you. So that is really, really a robust day plus, I should say, that we will be working together, and you get it done fast and you can put it up and move when the market is progressing as we speak. I have not done this ever before, so it's one month, limited spaces, right? There's only so many spaces I have. So if you're interested, please go ahead and email me at cparrs@MindUpAMarkets, because your message is too important to be lost in the crowd. And sustainability is let's not lose you in the crowd. And if you feel that sometimes people don't understand your true, this is what I get a lot. You know, Carolyn, they don't understand my true value, or the true value of the sustainable product. Well, that's a communications issue, and it can be fixed. Maybe they're confused with the message of it. Maybe it's too wordy. Maybe you're speaking on this level at a 10 when you really need to be at a 1 and a 2 so that they get it. And you think that people understand it the way you do. Well, guess what? They don't, even if they're in the sustainability or environmental space, right? So that's really important to communicate. Now, then we get how you be heard above the noise, and your online presence. So this is an important piece of the messaging, the VIP messaging day. And basically, to just bring it down really to bear, like the clarity of it is, you will get clear on your message. We'll distill it down. You'll learn how to get heard, so that you can put it into a funnel where you can actually reach new customers and sell more product or services than you have up until now. And then grow your business. Go beyond sustaining it and grow your business during this time. Sustainability is in our DNA at Mind Over Markets. We've been doing this for over 17 years. We have not been doing this and other stuff like most marketing companies, solely in marketing sustainability and green since 2003. So we see what works, what doesn't. We also know we've lived through the last downturn in 2008, 9, and 10, and saw what happened through that, and also learned what worked and didn't work through that. So we're going to bring that smarts, to our sessions with you. We work with over 1,000 businesses, sustainable businesses, in over 25 plus industries. So you're in good hands. Some of the clients that we work with, small and large, that we've helped with their messaging, their marketing, and their branding, and even stakeholder relationships. So Mind Over Markets, get clear, get heard, grow your business. See Parrs, P-A-R-R-S, at mindovermarkets.com. Go ahead. You can either email me there, or you can go onto my website and click on schedule a call, and you can schedule a call with me then. That's totally free. And I just want to say it's free, right? So there's no obligation to buy or to, we're exploring, see if it's a right fit for you and for us. So go ahead and do that if that feels like I'm ready to, I want to get through this strong and be one of the sustainable strong businesses that not only make it through this, but thrive their way through this. All right. So sustainability for strategic growth, it was named that because it is a way strategically to grow your business now. It is an important time for us in sustainability. It's always been near and dear to my heart. And that's why I've been in the game for so long and love sharing it with small businesses, because that to me is the root of what is going to bring us to a new level in our economy and on the planet. And business has such an important piece. Let's just make it sustainable and bring sustainability into it so that we can leave future generations this planet in a better place. Okay, that is the ultimate goal. Thank you so much for joining me today. Carolyn Parrs, Mind Over Markets. You have a beautiful day.